Okay. So moving to the Notre Dame game Saturday. Look, I think Mike Bray is, and I've said this before, I think he's one of the best coaches in the game. I think he's the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. I think he should have serious consideration for what he's done at the Notre Dame program for one day. Now, he's still got probably another 15 years coaching, but he could literally get in the Hall of Fame. And he's not only just a great coach, but he's a great guy, just an incredible human being. And I think their team is really good. I think they've got really good players. They had a really good win yesterday. They can shoot the ball. They don't turn it over. They're just extremely well coached with a lot of good players. And every game that Notre Dame and Georgia Tech has played, as you've seen, it's gone down to the last possession or two. So Saturday, they're also, Notre Dame's retiring Kelly Tripucka's jersey. So Digger Phelps and that team will be there, and a lot of those former guys. So it should be a good crowd. And so we'll have to be really, really good. Michael DeVoe's still day by day, and we're just taking it one day at a time. That's all we can do until he feels better. And whenever that happens, he'll play. And if not, we'll just keep moving in the direction that we've been doing for the last two games. So that's that.
They made some big shots nationally down the stretch. Looking back at the game, what else do you think that you needed to do better?
Well, a few things. One, I didn't think we were, and this is a credit to Notre Dame, there's a couple things I thought defensively I was not real happy with our defense. We got 47-41, and Goodwin hit a huge three. They hit a couple really tough twos. Rod, really tough twos. And we had some crucial turnovers, 7 between our 3 guards and 4 by Moses. And that hurt us. We didn't have a good first half, and that's a credit to Notre Dame.
With Michael, is it a situation where he might not even practice, but you could go with him in a
Yes,
game?
correct. I'm not going to practice him today. We'll see how he is tomorrow. So I want to give him one,
So you'll travel him and then
we'll travel him and just versus Louisville, he told me 10 minutes prior that he wasn't going to play, and then he decided to play. And then versus North Carolina State, 10 minutes prior, said he wasn't going to play, and he said he couldn't play that game. So it'll probably be a game time decision, literally depending on how he feels waking up on that Saturday morning.
Is it feeling better at all?
Yes, it's feeling better, and like I could not practice him tomorrow and still play him on Saturday type thing, because I'm not. I want guys, but I'm not going to hold a guy. At this point of the year, he's practiced enough and played enough that he could, be out for a little bit, and then now maybe I have to shorten his minutes a little bit, but so we'll just have to take it day by day, Kelly. that's kind of where we're at with it.
Does he have a sprained tendon or something in his foot?
It's just a sore foot, and it really comes down on his pain tolerance. And obviously, as much as he's cutting and moving, it's just it's more on his pain tolerance.
I imagine defense is probably the harder part for him with that because of the unpredictability.
Yeah, that and Kelly, we do a lot. If you notice, we do a lot with our pivoting and stuff and our footwork. So that too. But it's hard. Again, I've never coached. I've played football when I was younger, but you can take up. You have the play's done. You can go back to the huddle, or you can really there's things you can do. Tennis tennis, soccer, or basketball, because it's so free flowing, and you're just changing of directions. If your wheels are bad or they have pain, it's hard. Whereas like a baseball or football, you've got the play to rest and kind of regroup, and the play could just be for 5 seconds, and that's the difference. Again, I'm a huge football fan and a baseball fan, but I'm just saying that's the difference on where. It's harder in the sports where it's continuous activity and you're moving from left to right, and to your point of the word, unpredictability.
Does it speak more to the depth of the program that you can absorb that and win games versus maybe early on when like Ben or someone got hurt?
Yeah, well,
absorb it.
Well, we couldn't absorb Ben, and we couldn't absorb Jose. That's okay. But we could probably absorb at this point of our program. Now, anyone in that first couple of years we couldn't absorb, and especially Ben. But for this year, it was hard for us to absorb Jose, and he's the one guy we couldn't absorb. But anybody else, because of the direction, because of our depth, and we've gotten better, and we're that's why I keep saying, Kelly, we're right at the doorstep. When I say I'm at the doorstep, I'm talking about when we took over. You're trying to the plan is to get to a point where you're able to be in a championship level program where every game you step on, you have a legitimate chance of winning, and you can, move up the ladder in the ACC. And we're not there yet because we have to get through the door, but we're at that doorstep to be right there. And part of that is getting more depth where if you do have an injury or something, that there's no drop off. Now, Jose, we're not at that point yet where we could lose a guy like Alvarado and be able to still manage. And that's what our next step is, where we can have that coverage in certain areas, especially in the guards play, that we don't have any drop off. Not statistically as in terms of talent, but more on the things that don't show up in the box score.
Evan Cole.
Does the nature of the way you beat NC State, going past Morehouse, back to NC State, does the nature of the way you won that game benefit this team?
Absolutely.
Because it was such a similar game to games you had lost.
But I've been saying that we have to get – the only way for us to get through the door, and that was a great first step, is I practice time and score all the time, but you lose, the losing team runs an up back. I mean, come on, it's not the same pressure as in a game, crowd, another opponent, the only way to work on learning how to win, and that's the next step of our program, is learning how to win, is you have to do it in real-time game atmospheres. And we easily could be vying for first place because we had many games where we should have won. Our losses we could have easily won, but we did not finish. We didn't know how to win in those late situations. And so that NC State was a great opportunity for us to help us learn how to win in a late situation, and that's what we need in order for us to have real-time data.
While DeVoe is out, are you still going to go with Khalid Moore to take his place, or
Yeah.
are there opportunities for maybe Bubba to step into that role?
No, I'll just keep going kind of what we've done. I'll keep the lineup as it is.
Has
Evan-
enabled Jordan to have a bigger role or a different role?
Look, I think Jordan, let me just say this on Jordan. I say this on versus Morehouse after the game versus Morehouse. First of all, Jordan, when he got eligible, was rusty, but boy, he's come a long way because he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and he was just a wild player. If you've noticed in his progression, he is learning how to become a better basketball player. And you look at his assist total, he's trying to make the right play. He gets more excited on a pass than a basket. I'm really proud of Jordan. He's like a sponge. He's learning how to become a basketball player. And again, it shows in the stages of him getting better from where he was to where he is now. He's a totally different player, and this helps him, or he has helped us. And with Mike being out, Ken, his role will have to continue to be expanded. And that doesn't mean he has to score more. That just means he's got to continue to be a good basketball player, not an athlete, not just a motor guy, but a basketball player.
Evan Cole seems to be more consistent with his play now. Does that affect how you use the minutes for your big guys?
No, Evan's a guy that, he gives you great energy, plays hard. You can always depend on him that he's going to, help you win games or mix things up because, he gives you great energy and great effort.
With Evan, is he a guy that's more of a game player than a practice guy?
Absolutely.
I
Now
imagine
we're
that
on.
frustrates you a
We're
little bit.
on him in practice and all the time about stuff. But yes, but he, he's a gamer.
With the regular season starting to dwindle down, what's your stance on how you think this team is going to perform, or should I say, you think this team is starting to get set up well to maybe making a run for the tournament?
Well, we got 10 regular season games left, and besides after the Louisville game where it's a week, because that's our bye that weekend after we play Louisville. Otherwise, you're 2 games a week, and it's go time now. You kind of are what you are, and we've got to continue to get better, and we've got to, in this 10-game kind of season left, to see where we finish in the standings before obviously conference tournament. It's go time, and to what I was saying to Kelly earlier, I do think every time the nice thing is every time we step on the floor, we have a legitimate chance of winning the game. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but you can go in the game saying, okay, we can win this game. This is the first year I've been able to say that every time we stepped on the floor to be able to do that, and that's a nice thing to have going in.
If you guys are able to finish down this stretch and compete at a high level with the rest of the regular season and maybe get that first round bye in the ACC tournament, how confident do you think you'll be with your team at that
Well,
point?
I think the next step is we want to get off of playing on Tuesday. So, you know, I mean, that's, you know, I credit Ken for this because we're doing a good job on the road. You know, we're winning road games. You know, we've taken the right step on getting guys better. We're deeper in some areas. We're able to, you know, be in every game and have a legit chance of winning. I think the next step now, even after that, we got to be able to learn how to finish and win close games. But the next step besides that is we got to get off of Tuesday. You know, we